Since Rin is going to be entertaining at the Umedaya tonight, I part ways with her at the entrance to Ueno Park.
シュウさん、今日はごめんなさい。一人で来るのはちょっと怖かったんすよ。
She flashes me an embarrassed smile. And just like that, she's back to her normal self. Nah, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's no big deal, but that aside. I'll walk you over there, the Umedaya, right?
いえいえ、それには及びません。ほんのすぐ近くっすから。
Are you sure?
これ以上は過分っすよ。今日は十分元気をもらいましたから。
Rin giggles softly.
それじゃあシュウさん、また明日。
She waves her hand at me in farewell. Rin has a smile on her face the whole time as we say our goodbyes. Rin. I think I might have hurt her deeply with my half-hearted attitude. I absentmindedly look on as Rin's figure melts away in the distance. She slips through the sweating crowd, her figure getting tinier and farther away until she disappears. Why do I have the feeling she's going to die? That's the final image of Rin I have burned into my mind. The final image. There's the usual throng of people going about their business noisily in front of Ueno Station. Different sorts of folks pass by in front of my eyes. Students, workers from rural areas, office workers, street urchins. That kid again. I also catch sight of the child wearing strange-looking clothing I saw a few days ago downtown. There's a group of people gathered by the side of the road whispering to each other. The shadowy-looking Cartagra gives off a sinister vibe. I avert my eyes and pull out my pocket watch. I'm supposed to meet with Kazuna at noon. There's still some time to kill before then. Oh, both of you? Kazuna isn't the only person waiting for me at Milk Hall. Oh, Toji's here too. Toji silently raises her hand in greeting.
どうもシュウゴさん、今日もお疲れ様です。この度は本当に大変なことになって。
Strangely enough, Kazuna seems rather subdued today.
食事をしていたら偶然会ったんだ。邪魔ならば別の席に移るが。
Nah, I'm glad you're here. There's something I need to discuss with you as well, Toji. Toji narrows her eyes and shoots me a questioning look. Hang on, I'll get to it in a bit. Before that, I turn to face Kazuna. Kazuna, I need to talk to you about what's going to happen after this.
はい、私にですか?
The truth is, I then proceed to give her a rundown of the events that led to me being involved with Otoha's case. And that's the gist of it. A girl working at the Yukishiro was murdered, and I've been requested to help find her killer. That's why I won't be able to concentrate all my efforts into the search for Yura. I know it's selfish, but I beg you. Please, just give me a little time to finish this. I bow toward Kazuna.
いやいや、そんなシュウゴさん、頭なんか下げないでください。そうですね、わかりました。姉のことは気になりますけど、そんな事情があるなら仕方ないです。その仕事が終わるまでシュウゴさんを待ちます。
Kazuna nods in assent with a kindly look on her face. Thanks, that's a big help. Phew, I'm glad she understands. Since it's Kazuna we are talking about here, there was a possibility she might have blurted out that she'd continue the search on her own.
その代わり、シュウゴさん、私にも一つお願いがあるんですけど。
What is it? She leans forward with a serious glint in her eyes. I have a bad feeling about this.
何も力になれないと思うんですけど、それは分かっているんですけど、それでもお願いします。
Does she want to help him with Otoha's case?
私にもシュウゴさんのお手伝いをさせてください。
Apparently so. Yeah, I knew something like that was coming. Kazuna, to be perfectly honest, you're putting me on the spot here. I have no idea how long this investigation will last, and I can't guarantee that it won't be dangerous either. Considering the circumstances, I can't just have you tagging along with me.
でも 修吾さんだって私を手伝ってくれましたし。
Well, of course I did. It's my job.
でも
Toji's calm voice suddenly cuts into our conversation.
修吾、いいじゃないか。カズナが一緒ならお前も無謀な行動は控えるだろう。ちょうどいいお目付け役だ。
What the hell? Don't just go running your mouth off. Toji ignores my protest and continues.
カズナ、この男が一人で何かことを起こしたときはすぐに私に知らせるんだ。この男の秘密主義はほとんど病気だ。なかなか難しい任務だと思うがよろしく頼む。
Toji seems to be really worried about him.
そんな大役。承知しました。私燃えてきました。修吾さんの行動を頑張って逐一当時さんに報告しますから。
ああ。
Toji lets out a giggle after seeing Kazuna all psyched up. Damn it all. She looks like she's secretly enjoying this.
それで修吾、私に話とは？
Toji fires a question my way, indifferent to my inner thoughts. About that. How goes it with the stuff I asked you to look into yesterday? Any progress?
お前も気が早いな。そう簡単に話が進むわけがないだろう。
Toji sounds somewhat taken aback.
こちらにも都合があるんだ。もう少し待て。
I guess you're right. Oh well. Toji's the only one I can depend on for information from the police. I'll just be patient and wait it out. Kazuna pipes up timidly when Toji and I reach a lull in our conversation.
それっていうのは事件のお話ですか？
Yeah, what about them?
はあ、そういえば今日の朝刊に事件についての記事があったなって思い出しまして。もちろん修吾さんご存知でしたよね。
I'm not exactly... I'm suddenly at a loss for words.
あの事件の参考人が昨日の夜に釈放されたって話だろう。
Oh, she was released?
私は今朝上野署の知り合いに聞いた。
はあ、多分それです。すごく小さな記事だったから修吾さんは見逃してしまったんですね。
Right. Making a grim face, I try to cover up my ignorance. This morning I had been rudely awakened by Rin, and then we'd headed off to Ueno Park for stuff. Frankly speaking, there hadn't been time for me to read the paper. However, there's no way I could actually say that to the two ladies sitting in front of me.
それは不誠実だな、修吾。
What are you talking about? My voice cracks and rises up a few octaves. Did Toji see right through my lies?
いや、仕事を引き受けた以上、関連する記事には目を通してしかるべきだ。たとえそれが小さな記事であってもだ。
Ah, so that's what she meant. Yeah, you're right, Toji. Relieved, I nod in agreement with a serious look on my face. In times like this, it's best to just be meek. My bad, I should have known better.
そんなことないですよ。修吾さんは一日中事件の推理で忙しくて、それで多分新聞なんか読んでいる暇がなかったんですよね。
Yeah, something like that.
私、修吾さんのこと信頼してますから。
Right, I'll do my best. The scary thing about Kazuna is that she's just so innocent. But it's also kinda cute. Toji looks at me curiously as my guilt does strange things to my face. However, she pulls herself together and continues.
ところどころ腑に落ちない部分もあるが、とりあえず本題に戻ろうか。
Toji informs me solemnly. Regarding the released suspect.
私も詳しく聞いたわけではないが、
Toji lowers her voice.
参考人の名前は千草時子。
Chigusa Tokiko.
上野界隈で最近流行っている宗教団体千里教の幹部だという話だ。
I see. I recall how crazy she seemed when I first laid eyes on her and not deeply. That phony priestess, huh? That puts the weird things she was spewing in perspective. The destruction of our world approaches. If you don't want to be destroyed, then that's their sad spiel. How did you find out she was a suspect?
いや、そこから先は話してもらえなかった。厳しい箝口令が引かれているようだが、すぐに釈放されたということは大した容疑ではなかったのだろう。
I suppose you're right. But try as I might, I just can't accept Toshi's words at face value. The woman I first saw in the slums, her name is Ishigusa Tokiko. It's not known how she's connected to the murders. However, she definitely seems to be involved in some way. Even though her charges were dropped and she was set free, is she really unrelated to the murders? I may need to investigate her in further detail. When we get out of Milk Hall, Ueno Station is packed with throngs of people. I pull up the collar of my coat to cover up skin that's exposed to the cold air. The sun is almost completely set. The area is blanketed in darkness and chill winter air. I'm going to head back with Kazuna for the time being. What are you gonna do?
そうだな。久しぶりにウジャクの顔でも見ていくか。
The madam's been feeling pretty down. I think it will help if you stop by. Madam Ujaku might cheer up a little bit if her old friend drops by for a visit.
ウジャクも気の毒に。
Toshi's expression clouds over.
これ以上何も起きなければいいが。
I doubt that. There's a sliver of baseless doubt gnawing away inside my chest. Me too. Let's pray that it ends here. I am not in agreement with Toshi's words. However, our prayers were in vain. When we return to the Yukishiro, what awaits us is more bad news. Rin's gone missing. I knew that would happen. Oh shit. Another murder scene? She wakes up in an unfamiliar room. The light from the lamps hung on the wall is quite faint, so the room is rather dim. The moment she regains consciousness, she becomes aware of a rotten, sour stench penetrating her nostrils. An intense wave of nausea rolls up from the bottom of her stomach. Tearful, she gags at the stench, frantically pressing the sleeve of her kimono against her nose. There must be something rotten nearby. But the room is so dark that it's hard to make out where or what it is. She was called back to Ueno when she was over in Fukagawa getting ready for work. That's the last thing she can remember. She's wearing the kimono she had on when she left the Umedaya. There are no marks on her body. She hasn't been tied up or bound. Only her wallet is missing and her pockets have been completely emptied. Has she been kidnapped by some kind of pervert? The repulsive thought makes goosebumps rise over her entire body. A person who abducts girls and brings them to this cellar. What sort of violence will she face? What will she be forced to do? I don't want to know. Her imagination knows no bounds. There's an endless number of terrible things that could happen. Now that her eyes have grown accustomed to the gloom, she is able to take a look around the room. She can only see faint outlines, but it seems to be a dreary, empty room. When she looks up, she suddenly notices something strange hanging in the corner of the room. Holy shit. It's the corpse of a girl suspended by chains. She is strung up from the ceiling like an animal in a slaughterhouse, almost as though she's waiting her turn to be butchered. That's when it hits her. She's in the grasp of the psychotic murderer who chops up women, the very person all of Ueno is making a fuss about. Can this really be happening? Was she really kidnapped by the infamous Ueno serial killer? She can't stop trembling. Rin hugs herself tightly. And at that moment, there's the soft click of a door being unlocked. Somebody's trying to enter the room. There's no doubt in her mind that that somebody is the person who imprisoned her here. The culprit behind those bizarre serial killings? A chill of fear runs up her spine. Rin's teeth are chattering violently, her body so weak that she can barely stand. Tears start pouring out of her eyes, now as white as saucers. Am I going to be killed? And then... And then what? Rin disappeared? The madam nods, her face grave.
ついさっき梅田屋から知らせがあったのさ。リンが出かけたまま帰ってこないって。向こうの話じゃ私に呼ばれたからって出て行ったらしいんだが、あいにくとそんな使いは出しちゃいない。
Wait, what does it all mean, madame?
私にだってわからないよ。確かなのはリンが雪城に戻ってくる途中で消えちまったって、それだけさ。
Rin had cried at my chest this morning. She had choked back tears and struggled to be strong, but in the end she was unable to contain her sorrow. Is this the way my premonition plays out?
雪城のみんなには手分けして上の銃を探してもらっているんですよ。旦那、あんたも手伝って。
I'm already running off before Madam Ujaku finishes.
おい、待て集合。
集合さん
Ignore their pleas for me to stop and burst out the door of the Yukishiro. Rin! Where do I start my search? There's no point in searching at random, but I don't have any clear leads from what the madam told me. If I had to guess, she must have passed by Ueno Station or through downtown on her way back from the Umedaya. Ueno Station or downtown? I don't know. I really don't. Let's go downtown. First things first, I need to get a detailed rundown of what Rin was doing when she disappeared. The Umedaya is located along a busy thoroughfare. I pass under their entrance curtain and direct the question toward the clerk, who happens to be an acquaintance of mine.
いや、どこに行ったかまではちょっとわからないね。使いの者がよこした手紙をリンちゃんに渡しただけだから。
And who exactly was this messenger?
名前は聞かなかったね。ボロボロの布をかぶったみたいな格好で、なんだかおかしな子供だったよ。そういえば見ない顔だったね。あんたのところの小僧さんじゃないのかい？
A child wearing tattered clothing? To my knowledge, the Yukishiro has never employed a person like that. What's going on here? I don't have time to waste standing around dwelling on this, though. I thank the clerk and exit the Umedaya. Next up is Aoimachi or return to the Yukishiro. Where would we return to the Yukishiro? Let's go to Aoimachi. Aoimachi. It's home to the slums which are deeply involved in the series of murders taking place in Ueno. The first corpse was discovered here, and it's where the victims disappeared. However, the people of the city all seem vigilant. There's practically nobody out and about as evening is falling. Nuts! I'll hand over some money to informants I'm familiar with and move on to the next location. Downtown again? Why? Let's go to Ueno Station then. I run through the streets just like I had earlier, but I don't gain any valuable information. I wonder if Rin didn't pass in front of the station. Okay, let's go to Ueno Park then. I make a circuit around the park, then stop in front of the Benten Shrine. The conversation I had with Rin this morning replaced my head. Damn it, why did I let her leave without having cleared the air between us? I shake my head to chase away the bad thoughts. I'm thinking too much. I'll leave and return to Ueno Station. I cut through the crowd in front of Ueno Station, hurrying to my next location. Ueno Park, Aoimachi, return to the Yukishiro. Will anything different happen if we go to Aoimachi again? Let's try. I wonder if I've missed anything. I run everything through my head again and again while trying to suppress the fatigue that's making my body feel leaden. Perhaps Rin unknowingly held one of the leads to Otoha's murder? Or is this just pure coincidence?
Oi.
Someone suddenly grabs a hold of my shoulder. Nah, Toji, have you found anything? She frowns at me, her face a mask of displeasure.
シュウゴ、落ち着くんだ。闇雲に探したところで見つかるはずがない。だいたいその女郎がどうして失踪したのかわからなければ探しようもない。落ち着いてよく考えるんだ。
She's right. Toji's words may be blunt, but she's always right. I understand what she's trying to get at. But this time, I don't have time for that now, while I'm just dawdling around Rin's. The words die in my mouth. I'm unable to say the rest.
シュウゴ、その娘と何かあったのか。
Toji's eyes seem to see right through me. I avert my eyes in response. Anyhow, you help us out too, Toji. I turn around and run off. Downtown or Ueno Station again. Let's go to downtown again. But why would we want to return to the Yukishiro? Maybe to calm down a little? Maybe that's a good idea. I return to the street that runs in front of the Yukishiro. I trudge past the Yukishiro on leaden legs. Okay, I guess not. Then on to Ueno Station again? No. Then Ueno Park again? The gloomy overcast sky is starting to take on a tinge of purple. Looks like the sun will be setting soon. Rin still hasn't been found. Legs lean from my futile search effort. I slowly circle the path surrounding the pond. How many times have I searched this park already? It's the second time, isn't it? The anxiety roiling inside my brain has caused my memories of these last few hours to become a blur. Rin. I sigh and stop in my tracks. I let the winter breeze blow against me. The cold numbs my brain. My heart is crushed. I feel like giving up. I've tried my hardest to encourage myself to keep on running, but I'm at my wit's end. If I actually start to think rationally, my legs will lose the will to keep moving. I let out a scornful sigh. Maybe it's all a product of my imagination. Maybe I return to the Yukishiro and Rin will be there to greet me with a smile like she always does. Damn it, if only that were true. I should head back to the Yukishiro. I turn around slowly, my head hung low.
Yeah, Shugo.
It's Nana, isn't it? I raise my head up to see the figure of a girl silhouetted in the twilight gloom.
何やら浮かない顔してるじゃないか。もしかすると僕の助けが必要かな？
Nana.